Rated M for mature.
Atomfall is a survival action game where you explore the fictional quarantine zone, scavenge for resources, and fight or talk your way through encounters. It's set to be Rebellion's most accessible game to date, and today we're going to have a deeper look into its accessibility. We built the game with accessibility in mind, as we wanted to make sure that we could enable as many people as possible to access the core game experiences. We use a mix of both optional settings and accessibility by design to help more players play and enjoy the game.
I'm Han O'Hare, and I'm a technical UI designer at Rebellion working on Atomfall. I've been heavily involved in creating the game's accessible UI features. We've done a lot of work by design to avoid things like using colour alone, and to have good text formatting with a clear font widely used across the game. One of the things that we're most proud of is our UI backplates and text scaling. The text scales up to 104 pixels at 4K, the largest text scaling ever in a Rebellion game. I also worked on our backplates, which allow the user to create high contrast text throughout the game by putting solid backgrounds behind all text. Players also have control over the opacity of these. Because a lot of Atomfall relies on managing your inventory and reading notes that you find in the world, we hope that these improvements will help players engage with these aspects. Our colour picker has been expanded to include a wider array of choices, and you can set colours for helpful notifications, warnings, and crosshair.
Hi, I'm Carrie Walterton, an accessibility designer here at Rebellion. We've been working on accessibility across the board on Atomfall, including helping with game and feature design. The exploration and detective element play a big role in Atomfall as you find leads. With this in mind, we've introduced several features which will help players navigate the world and engage with those gameplay mechanics. Firstly, there's the hints option. This gives you a short summary of the key information to save players having to read long paragraphs or work out clues. This reduces reading and cognitive load while supporting players in progressing through the story. Alongside this, there was a huge focus on making sure that our controls were as accessible as possible. Special Effect provided vital feedback to help us design controls that would be widely accessible by default. Additionally, Atomfall features controller remapping for both keyboard and controller should players want to create their own configurations. We have options for toggling holds and automating movement to allow as many people as possible to play comfortably with reduced button presses. As we've designed features of the game, we thought about how we could provide multi-sensory feedback through both visuals and audio by default, such as pairing unique sounds and animations to telegraph attacks.
See that big metal bugger? I could have it.
I'm Lottie Wade, and I'm an audio designer on Atomfall. We've been working on the audio-driven accessibility features. We received positive feedback from blind gamers on unique pickup sounds in Sniper Elite 5, so we wanted to build on that for Atomfall. We use unique audio cues where appropriate to try and give the player as much information through audio as we can. On top of this, we have a new feature of audible cues for prompts. We have different cues for a basic interaction, like opening a door or picking up an item, and for complex interactions, where you can either pick up or use an item. Earlier this year, we had an expo for Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and as part of that, we were able to get some lived experience feedback, and we also got our developers to test the audio aiming system blindfolded, as well as some testing from blind and low vision players. We collated the feedback and have made a host of improvements to the audio aim as a result. We're excited to get more feedback when players get their hands on the game. It's incredibly rewarding to see someone without sight be able to engage in combat independently, without assistance from a sighted player. It was important for us that we gave as much agency as possible and access to core parts of the experience. The audio aiming system has 3 levels. It has passive NPC audio, which plays on all characters to help with melee combat. We also have snap aiming and cues for snapping on and off to let you know when you're on target. And lastly, we have ADS cues, which are sounds that let the player know how close they are to an enemy when aiming. Each of these can be enabled and disabled independently, so you can customize it to what you need.
Hello, I am the Wobbly Gamer,
a visually impaired accessibility consultant and content creator. Earlier this year, the team at Rebellion brought me in to consult on Atomfall. It was great to see how much the team had achieved. One key piece of feedback I gave was that I couldn't see enemies when they were far away. This meant I wasn't able to decide whether I wanted to start an encounter with enemies or not. As a result, I often felt ambushed. The audio aiming system worked well, but I felt the long distance readability needed improvement. Since the consultancy, the team has worked on providing the solution. They've created an NPC highlights feature which allows you to apply a bright coloured shader to all NPCs in the world. This feature will give the additional readability that I and other low vision players need at longer distances.
Thank you for your interest in Atomfall. You can find more information on the accessibility features available on our website at atomfall.com